I will call to order the July 31st, 2025 special meeting of the School Board of Charlotte County. Here in Charlotte County, we will achieve our vision of success for all through our mission to educate, inspire, and support all students to build stronger communities. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. And thank you for that. Mr. Superintendent, are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, there are no additions or corrections.
All right, thank you. Mr. Superintendent, we'll move on to reports.
Mr. Chair, this is going to be fun, a great way for us to start our evening. This evening, I would like to recognize our communications team, led by Ms. Claudette Smith, with team members James Romulus and Kristen Peterson for their award-winning work, and I'm going to repeat that, their award-winning work. These prestigious honors presented by the National School Public Relations Association were based on creativity, clarity, execution, and effectiveness. The association's review panel praised the team for their strategic storytelling and consistent, cohesive messaging across multiple platforms. So it is with great pride that I share the following awards. Honorable mention for social media, Award of Merit in a video series, Exploring Your Ease. Award of Merit for a website, CCPS Online, Designed for Success. So at this time, please join me in congratulating our outstanding communications team on this well-deserved recognition. Claudette, James, and Kristen, if you could please, along with the board, join me in front of the dais. I'm not sure who's going to take the picture.
Thank you for that wonderful report, Mr. Superintendent. Once again, congratulations to Claudette and her team. Awesome job. Ms. Carey, Ms. McCarthy, are there any citizens wishing to address the board? None at this time. At this time, I will recess the special meeting and call to order a public hearing. Mr. Superintendent, the budget public hearing, please.
The 2025-2026 tentative millage rates and tentative budget have been advertised and are ready for public hearing. Chief Financial Officer Marcus Allen will now present the 2025-2026 tentative millage rates and tentative budget.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Good evening, Board and Superintendent. It's my privilege to present the 25-26 tentative budget for Charlotte County Public Schools. Got to turn this on, too. As required by law, we'll begin the hearing with a review of the millage rates, taxable values, and tax levies. The total recommended millage is 6.288 mills, and the total millage rate to be levied is less than the rolled back rate by 0.58%. The total proposed millage rate is 6.288 mills, which is a decrease of 0.026 mills, which is all of the result of a decrease in the required local effort. As has been the case for many years, the discretionary rate of .748 mils and the capital millage rate of 1.5 mils remains unchanged. In addition, we are continuing the 1 mil operating levy based on the passage of the referendum. Taxable values for this year will be approximately $38.477 billion. This is an increase of approximately $1.1 billion, which equates to a 3.1% increase in the tax roll. As the chart shows, over the last few years, the taxable values in Charlotte County have been growing rapidly, averaging nearly 20% growth per year. This, between last year and this year, shows a slowdown of the growth on the tax roll significantly and aligns with years prior at about 3%. Our budgeted tax levies at the 96% value are expected to yield just over $232 million of revenue. $176.8 million for the operating fund, which does include $36.9 million for the voted operating millage, and $55.4 million of which is the local capital improvement taxes. So this chart shows the average taxpayer millage rate impact. For every $100,000 of taxable value as determined by the property appraiser that a taxpayer's property is assessed at, they'll pay approximately $628, which is about a $2 decrease per $100,000. Depending on the increase in the taxable value of the taxpayer's property, which is based on the 3% increase of existing property values certified by the property appraiser, many of the non-homestead properties will likely see increases in their school taxes. However, for a taxpayer with a homestead exemption on their home, they should see a slight increase of only approximately $3 per $100,000. That equates to about 0.02% for the average taxpayer increase. Reviewing all of our budget summary, the budget has 5 main parts. It's broken up into the general fund, the special revenue, debt service, capital projects, internal service. Of the total $555 million budget, approximately 49% is for our general fund. That's also referred to as our operating fund. The next largest area is our capital project fund at about 26% or 29% of our budget. 5 to 6% is our special revenue funds. This is primarily federal grants and the food service program. At this time, only the food service is reflected as federal awards are not certain until later. Debt service at 11%, and this is the repayment of bonds issued for building new schools. And then the internal service fund at about 6% for our employee health benefits. As historically has been the case, the majority of our revenues continue to come from local sources, and the primary local source is property tax collections. So speaking of the general fund, which is our largest fund, you can see that about 83% of come from local sources. 6.4% are also considered local sources, as those are state statute allowable transfers from capital, where 10% of our general fund comes from state and federal sources. Full-time equivalent is the main driver in determining the revenue the district earns and is based on the Florida Education Finance Program. I'll briefly go over how we're funded under the FEFP model. This year, under the FEFP, Charlotte County is expected to have an increase of students by about 614 in comparison to last year, of which about 71 are expected to be in traditional brick and mortar schools. You then take that, and the base student allocation is our primary mechanism for determining the funding with the FEFP. The rate's set by the legislature each year. And while the change for 25-26 is positive, you have to multiply this by the program cost factor. For example, our K-3 program cost factor is showing a reduction of $7.19 per K-3 student, but with 4, 8, 9, 12, and some of the other programs, they do show an increase in funding per student. The next step is to take that unweighted FTE and multiplied by the program cost factor. That calculates our weighted FTE. For example, a middle school ESOL student has a 19% higher weight than a basic middle school student, which is 1.192 versus just the one program cost factor. Historically, based on the FEFP, Charlotte County receives fewer dollars per student from state sources than most other districts, at right around 20%. The average district in the state receives approximately 54.4% of their FEFP generated funding from the state as of the second calc. As you can see, the total dollars per unweighted FTE is expected to fall a little bit based on our third calculation from last year of the 24-25 year. This chart just shows historically over time the percentage of local dollars versus the percentage of state dollars. And as you can see, the vast majority of our revenues are generated with local dollars. Looking into appropriations, the two largest categories are salaries and benefits, which account for approximately 75% of our budget. The next largest category is purchase services, and that includes items such as charter school payments, school resource officer contracts, ESE contracted employees, and property casualty insurance. The other small portion is related to energy, materials, some capital projects, and other miscellaneous expenses, and licensing fees, things like that. Another way you can look at the expenditures is by its function. Approximately 58% of expenditures are for direct instruction of students. This includes teachers, paras, textbooks, payments to charter schools, classroom supplies, etc. The next largest function is the operation of plant, which is about 11.5%. That includes utilities, cleaning of schools, those types of expenses. And one final way to look at into the costs are by location type. The largest category for costs is our elementary school at about 26%. A significant amount of special allocations are shown as well. This includes substitute teachers, textbooks, supplements, etc. These are all budgeted at the district level, but at the end of the year are charged to the school for cost analysis purposes once the actual expenditure occurs. One of the most important sources of funding for our district is the referendum that was renewed in 2022 and is up for renewal again. This slide recaps the historical expenditures and revenues of this funding source. The majority of the revenues continue to be used to fund competitive salaries and benefits for our employees. And I'm happy to say that we're one of approximately 5 districts that provided raises for our employees this year, thanks in part to the referendum. This chart shows the annual beginning, ending, and changes in fund balance over the last several years. The gray bars represent the change. When the gray bar is sitting on top of the gold bar, that means we've spent less than that year than the revenues we've received. The board has approved increases in employee salary and benefits to start this year. Since we fully budget for those costs, this budget anticipates we'll spend down some of the fund balance that we've accumulated over the last couple years, which was in part by vacancies and benefit lapses when budgeted positions were vacant. Moving on to the capital fund, which is our next major fund. We're anticipating and collecting about $55.5 million in capital improvement funds. This is a separate fund than our operating fund. This funds various things such as the repair and upkeep of school facilities. It can't be used for general day-to-day functions. Capital projects are divided into a couple major groups: facility maintenance and repair, furniture and equipment, transfers for debt service, maintenance staff paid from the general fund, as well as a property casualty insurance, and then new construction. The largest component of this is our facility maintenance and repair projects. As you can see, the expenditures have continued to increase year over year as our property values have increased in accordance with our 5-year work plan. And then just a reminder, we will have the final budget hearing if the board sets the date. Tentatively, right now it's scheduled for 5:30 p.m. on the 9th of September. Thank you.
Are there any board questions at this time?
No questions. Do we want to have discussion now or later on the agenda?
If you want to have discussion now on that, we can do that now, or we could do it during the comments, or what?
I guess we'll do it now then.
Okay.
All right. So I just wanted to thank Mr. Allen for taking a lot of time to answer all of my questions about the budget. We had a very productive budget workshop this morning. I thought that was a really good thing that we did. And after reviewing other districts across Florida, it's clear that we are in a better position than many other districts, and that's thanks in large part to increased enrollment in both our traditional and our charter schools. I'm proud to say that roughly 90% of families in Charlotte County choose our traditional and charter public schools, which speaks to the strength of our system. That said, we are facing challenges this year, and we won't have the full picture until we receive the fourth calculation from the state. So if anyone from the state is listening, we're waiting. I do believe that the staff has put together a responsible plan to bring our budget back into alignment while preserving our unanimously supported 10% reserve. I believe that if we make responsible decisions this year, that hopefully we will be able to continue our tradition of being able to give raises, which we've done every year since 2018. Today in the workshop, I asked for two things going forward. First, a budget page that clearly shows revenue and expenditures for traditional and charter schools only, excluding scholarships for better transparency. And second, I asked that we would receive regular updates after each student count and funding calculation, beginning with the fourth calculation, which hopefully we will receive before our August 12 meeting. So thank you again, Mr. Allen.
All right, hearing no other questions?
I just want to make a comment as well, Mr. Chair. I wanted to agree with everything Ms. Montry said as far as our workshop this morning. And again, thank you publicly for all the time that you've spent, I know with me and other board members, answering our in-depth questions. The plan that you all have laid out is a great plan moving forward. We are in a good spot. We have been a very fiscally responsible board since I've been on, since 2018. And I think that goes to show to the position we're in. Given some challenges that we've encountered, we're still able to move forward with raises, take care of our staff. I fully believe that if your staff is happy and they're not worried about their jobs, they'll come to work and do it every day. And so I want our staff to know, like, we're in good shape. We're going to be okay. And it's in large part to our staff here in the district, Mr. Allen and Mr. Vinello. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Allen, thank you for your time and your presentation. We're ready to move on. Thank
right.
you. Ms. Carey, Ms. McCarthy, are there any citizens who wish to address the board regarding the 2025-26 tentative millage rates and tentative budget? All right, with that, if there are no objections, I'm going to close the public hearing and resume the special meeting. Mr. Superintendent, the action on the budget public hearing, please.
School board action is required to meet the truth in millage timeline to inform the property appraiser of the proposed millage rates for the trim notice to taxpayers. Tonight's school board action will set the maximum millage which may be levied for the year. The school board may reduce the millage rate at the final public hearing in September, but they may not increase it. I will now read into the record the tentative millage rates for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. District required local effort, 3.04 mils. Capital outlay, 1.5 mils. Discretionary operating, 0.748 mils. Additional voted operations millage, 1 mil. The total millage rate to be levied is less than the rollback rate by 0.58%. I am recommending approval of a resolution of the Charlotte County School Board adopting the tentative millage rates for fiscal year 2025-2026.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve a resolution of the Charlotte County School Board adopting the tentative millage rates for the fiscal year 2025-2026. Any board discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, the tentative budget,
Board-
please.
Board, I am recommending approval of a resolution of the Charlotte County School Board adopting the tentative budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026 in the amount of $555,093,183.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve a resolution of the Charlotte County School Board adopting the tentative budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026. Any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. At this time, I will recess the special meeting and call to order a public hearing. Mr. Superintendent, the public hearing on school board policies, please.
We have several policies this evening which were updated as part of the Neola process to comply with state and federal law. These policies were reviewed at the June workshop as advertised. I will now refer to you, Mr. Chair, for any questions the board may have regarding the public hearing.
Any board discussion? None? Ms. Carey, Ms. McCarthy, are there any citizens who wish to address the board regarding policies? All right, with that, if there are no objections, I'm going to close the public hearing and resume the special meeting. Mr. Superintendent, the action on the public hearing, please.
I'm recommending adoption of the policies as advertised.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt the policies by the superintendent as advertised. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, the consent agenda is next.
We have 15 routine items on the consent agenda which were reviewed in our individual meetings. I am recommending approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any board discussion at this time? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. The action agenda, Mr. Superintendent?
As part of the policy revision process, we are required to advertise the consideration of policies prior to school board adoption at a public hearing. I'm requesting the board to approve the policies reviewed during this morning's workshop for advertising.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the advertisement of the policies as stated by the superintendent. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, the selection of the FSBA advocacy representative is next.
The selection of the FSBA representative is a board item, so I will defer to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent.
I'd like to nominate Kiara Reynolds to be the advocacy representative.
Do we have to? No.
I guess I got to put that in the form of a motion, yes, or?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I move that we nominate Kiara Reynolds as the advocacy representative.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve Kara Reynolds as the FSBA advocacy representative for 2025-26. Any board discussion?
I'll try to make you proud.
Well, I think we need to thank Mr. Leclerc for his service the past year.
It was my pleasure.
And
Every
For those of you in the audience that aren't aware, being a mid-size, we're considered a mid-sized district, lobbyists are often unaffordable for us. And the FSBA advocacy portion of what is done allows us an opportunity to have an advocate on that board to see to it that our issues are addressed in Tallahassee by FSBA, the same as the larger districts and or the smaller districts. So it really is an important job that we're asking Ms. Reynolds to take to it to make sure that our voice is heard along with all the others here in the state. So we have that lobbying voice we need in Tallahassee.
And thank you, Bob, and thank you, Kara, for accepting the nomination. And I know you will serve the district well at that level. Any more discussion? All right, we have a motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay.
Yeah.
Oh, those opposed, nay. The motion passes.
Moving ahead of myself, I believe I need to nominate you as the alternate also. So I make a motion that we nominate John Leclerc as, is that correct? We did discuss John this morning, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I move that we nominate John Leclerc to be the alternate advocacy representative.
I will second that.
I was hoping you guys would forget that. All right. Any discussion, any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. The next item is a reading plan, Mr. Superintendent.
Per requirements set forth in the State Board of Education, the Division of Learning requests approval of the 2025-2026 District K-12 Comprehensive Evidence-Based Reading Plan. I am recommending approval of our reading plan.
So moved?
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the 2025-26 District K-12 Comprehensive Evidence-Based Reading Plan. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Student progression plan, Mr. Superintendent.
This is the 2025-2026 Student Progression Plan. I am recommending approval of the 2025-2026 Student Progression Plan.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the 2025-2026 Student Progression Plan. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. We now have a health allocation plan. Mr. Superintendent.
The Division of School Support is seeking approval of the Mental Health Allocation Plan as submitted. I am recommending approval of this plan.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the mental health allocation plan. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, the quarterly inspection report, please.
As required by the State Board of Education, our school safety specialist is required to submit a quarterly inspection report. I now invite Mr. King to the podium to provide a review of the district quarterly inspection report.
Good evening, Board Chair, Board members, and Superintendent Vianello. On May 27th, with 3 days left of school, a compliance officer from the Office of Safe Schools conducted site visits and inspections of two of our schools, Liberty Elementary and Peace River Elementary School. Among items inspected were specific training documentation, proof of compliance with emergency drills, safe zone signage, locked classrooms, and perimeter security of the campuses. I'm pleased to report there were zero non-compliance issues at either school. This concludes my review of the Charlotte District Quarterly Inspection Report.
Thank you, Mr. King, and thank you for all that you do for us here in Charlotte County. I'm recommending approval of the quarterly inspection report.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the Charlotte District Quarterly Inspection Report. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion passes. Next is the Safe Schools Assessment. Mr. Superintendent.
This is the 2025-2026 self-assessment of our safety and security programs. This annual self-assessment is mandated by Florida statute and is conducted using the Florida Safe Schools Assessment Tool. I would like to invite back to the podium, he never left, our Coordinator of District Security and Emergency Management, Mr. Joe King. Mr. King serves as the District Safety Specialist and would like to say a few words regarding the 2025-2026 Florida Safe Schools Assessment Tool.
Thank you, sir. Tonight, we bring before you the 25-26 Florida Safe School Assessment Tool for your approval. As a reminder, the actual FSAT document is confidential and exempt from release to the public by Florida state statute. It is important to note that as assessments are made with regards to school safety and security, the school district believes in a security standardization in all of our schools. In January of '24, we conducted our mandatory 3-year safety walkthroughs of every school in the district, in conjunction with local law enforcement and first responders and members of our district maintenance operations. During these walkthroughs, we identified areas that were in need of improvements. We immediately began addressing these areas. One of the major concerns was our school intercom systems. The school district is in the process of retrofitting all of our school intercom systems to ensure students and staff are able to receive notifications in the event of an emergency incident. The project is currently underway and will be a multi-year project. The projects are largely funded by the use of the Hardening Grant. We, as a district, continue to strive to be at the forefront of our state in the level of security we provide for our students and staff. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Mr. King. Board, I am recommending approval of the Florida Safe Schools District Best Practices Assessment.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the Florida Safe Schools District Best Practices Assessment. Any board discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. We now have an agreement, Mr. Superintendent.
Approval is requested of the Charlotte County Public Schools fee schedule and scholarship curriculum agreement as submitted. I am recommending approval of the agreement as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the fee schedule and scholarship curriculum agreement. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, the bus runs, please.
These are the bus runs for the 2025-2026 school year. The Transportation Department will begin the school year running 88 buses. The bus runs will be adjusted as new students enroll and ridership is balanced. Board, I'm recommending approval of the 2025-2026 school bus runs.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 2025-26 school bus runs. Any board discussion? Yes.
I'd like to thank the Department of Transportation. It's an often overlooked responsibility, and when we look at those routes every year as to the miles that have to be covered and the planning that goes into that, it's really amazing how much detail goes into it and how they make it as short a run as possible for each and every one of our students. So I really thank the department for the work they put in every year on that particular vehicle, because it's far more important than the average consumer might realize. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Anyone else? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, we have the interim salary schedule.
Approval is requested of the revised 2025-2026 interim salary schedule. I'm recommending approval of the revised interim salary schedule.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the revised 2025-26 interim salary schedule. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. The last item on the action agenda, Mr. Superintendent, please.
Finally, this is the personnel action, including annual contract renewals and job descriptions. I am recommending approval of the personnel action as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve personnel action, annual contract renewals, and job descriptions. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. It looks like we finally got through that. So we are moving on to comments, and we'll start off with Mr. McKinley, our school board attorney.
Nothing tonight, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. All right, and we're going to start off with Ms. Montry.
Okay. Not too much to say, except that I really enjoyed the back-to-school breakfast for the teachers. That was really wonderful. I enjoyed the teachers that I was with. They were all going to be teaching at Deep Creek. I love how I would guess it was between maybe 1 out of every 3 or 1 out of every 4 were Charlotte County people who grew up here, which is always great to see. I also love seeing one of the teachers at my table was from Maine. And it's always great to hear from teachers who are from other states that are moving here to teach. And they could go anywhere in Florida, and they're choosing to come here. So they all really felt the love and the support from our community, and it's a wonderful thing how our businesses and our community turns out for that. I also went to the back-to-school event that Deep Creek had at Hampton Point Apartments, and I thought it was great how instead of having the families come to them, they went to where they live, and it was very successful. The kids were having a great time doing a scavenger hunt and everything. And I'm really looking forward to this school year. I think it's going to be a great one.
Thank you, Ms. Montry. Kara Reynolds, please.
Thanks. The new teacher breakfast yesterday was amazing. I was looking through the program and I saw a name that I recognized and was a former student of mine. I was her 8th grade teacher, and she was actually sitting at your table. So I ran over as soon as it was over and gave her a big hug, and she's going to be teaching PE at Deep Creek. So super excited for Marissa Beisner to be joining our team. It's really cool when you see your kids doing that. So. Also, next week we have the Back to School Bash, and we're very excited about that. It's where all of our teachers get to come together from across the whole county. I know it's pretty unique. We're small enough, but big enough where we can all still fit in one room together. So it's really exciting, and the energy from last year was amazing. And I just want to thank all of our community partners who are donating to this event to be able to make it happen so we can all be together and celebrate the start of another great school year. So I hope everyone has a great week. All our teachers coming back. I think they come back tomorrow. And the next week we have lots of open houses and excited kids meeting all their teachers. So looking forward to that. And then the week after that is back to school. So have a great week, guys.
Thank you, Kara. Vice Chair Seeger?
Well, already some of us back to school. We're off to a very good start at our year-round schools. We've been out to see some of those folks and glad to see them in action and back in full voice. I also had a similar experience yesterday at breakfast. One of the new teachers at Vineland this year was a 5th grader when I came on the board. So it was a very interesting discussion with that young lady. I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce and all of the sponsors yesterday, because to reach out to our new teachers and to have the community show a voice that they have that much involvement in our education system and are that immersed in it really sends a message to our new teachers. Welcome to the family, and the family extends beyond just the district, but to the entire county. So I really want to thank them for that. Tomorrow is A Banner Day. We're all going to be out at our A schools delivering the banners. It's a new approach we started, I think, last year. Very exciting time to honor those schools specifically, and I look forward tomorrow morning to being able to present some of those schools with their banner. Nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chair Seeger. Ms. Atkinson, please.
And of course, I also want to say thank you to the Chamber of Commerce, Charlotte County Chamber of Commerce, and all of the business partners that came out. The business partners, they support that teacher breakfast like no other. It's a $50, all the people that were there, it was $50, and that paid for their breakfast, but it also paid for the teacher. So the teachers weren't out of pocket anything yesterday. So I really want to give a shout out to the business community for constantly coming out and supporting and showing those teachers how much that they are welcome to the community. They make those contacts and partnerships with their classrooms. My class, or my table, I had Liberty Elementary. I had two new fourth grade teachers and a PE teacher. So it was pretty cool. And one of the fourth grade teachers was somebody who grew up in Charlotte County, went off to college in another state, and came back to Charlotte County to teach. And she's a brand new teacher. I mean, she's young, very, very young. I swear the older I get, the younger they look. But again, just kudos to our business community for constantly showing up for our schools and our teachers and our kids. That's all.
Thank you, Ms. Atkinson. Just a couple comments. I want to congratulate Claudette and her team once again, and the award is definitely well-deserved. I mean, look at everything that you've accomplished in such a short amount of time. Our new website, social media, what a presence, and great stuff that goes out to our families on what's going on in our schools, and great way to showcase our schools. So great job, and I'm expecting to see more next year, and I'm sure that's coming down the road. So great job. Thank you to Jeff. This is the time of year I always thank Jeff and his team for getting so many projects done in a very short amount of time. There's a lot that goes on during the summer, so he doesn't get a break. It actually ramps up for him and his team, but fantastic job getting our schools ready for our students, not just for our year-round kids, but our traditional schedule kids, and just can't say enough about getting all that done. So congratulations and good job to your team. Dr. McElroy, this is not an easy time for you and your team either. There's a lot going on. We got, how many new teachers did we welcome yesterday? 117. And all those new teachers have to be processed in a very short amount of time. And it's no easy task. So great job to you and your team, and thank you for getting them processed and into our schools as quickly as possible. That's all I have. So I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Superintendent.
I would add to that, Mr. Chair, not just teachers, but bus drivers and food service workers and a variety of other positions that we've added as well. So to Mr. Seeger, to your point, the A banners, that was Ms. Smith's idea. And tomorrow, we have so many A schools to go to that, remember last year, we were all able to caravan around together. Tomorrow, we have to divide up because we have so many A schools, we can't get to it all in one day. I would like to thank Mr. Allen, not only for this morning, but for this evening's presentation again. And great job, Marcus, and I hope somewhere in the near future there is a soft pillow and many hours of uninterrupted sleep in your very near future. Board, unfortunately, I do have some sad news, very sad news to share in my comments tonight. Recently, we lost two very important people to Charlotte County Public Schools, Miss Olive Price and Mr. James DeGata. Miss Olive was a graduate of Charlotte High School, and she attended Edison College. She worked here in Charlotte for 25 years, starting back in August of 2000. She started her career as a para 2 and then became an admin assistant in 2009 in our ESE department, and that's where she worked the rest of her career. Miss Olive was quiet, but I couldn't walk into our ESE department without seeing that big smile and her saying, "Mr. Mark, is there anything I can help you with?" She will be greatly missed. Mr. DeGata was also a graduate of Charlotte High School, and he attended Bethel College and played football at both Charlotte High School and Bethel College. He started with us back in 2015 as a substitute teacher, then became a full-time para at Charlotte Harbor Center. In 2016, James became a teacher at Charlotte High School and then began working at Punta Gorda Middle as both a VE teacher and an EBD teacher. James was named Hurricane Hero in 2005 by the Charlotte Sun newspaper and received the Do the Right Thing Award for helping elderly neighbors after Hurricane Charlie. Both Olive and James will be greatly missed, and our hearts go out to the departments that they worked in, the schools that they served, but most importantly, our hearts go out to their families. And that's a very difficult transition, but I will mention, we talked a little bit about year-round school. Today was our 11th day of year-round school for 3 schools, East Elementary, Peace River, and Sally Jones. And I'm happy to report, Board, that they are all up and running and off to a great start. And as already mentioned, the rest of our teachers come back tomorrow. So tomorrow is a big day for our principals. It's a big day for our teachers. And I'd like to welcome all of them back. And I can't wait to see them all at next Tuesday Back to School Bash. Board, as you know, we had a very successful school year last year. Our plan is working, and we're going to celebrate next Tuesday. We're going to have some fun, but we're also going to learn some things, and then we'll turn our attention, and it'll be full steam ahead for this upcoming year. Mr. Montri, I'm excited as well for all the moments that are going to happen this year, and I'm very optimistic for a terrific year that lies ahead. Mr. Chair, I truly can't wait for us to get started. And that concludes my comments tonight.
And thank you, Mr. Superintendent, for those comments. And with that, with no further business, this meeting is adjourned.